make sure that you're comfortable. Just knees bent or stretched, legs stretched out, however it is that you feel like the earth and your mat can hold you a little bit, just so that you can surrender any amount, honestly. That's what I learned. My yoga practice, my breathing practice, my meditation practice, all of it went to shit while I was home. And I just admit that because we can pick it back up. We can begin again. I will say, I would go outside and I would look at the sky and I took in the nature. I think that was my yoga. But yeah, it's a practice. And sometimes I just was like, I don't have room for it. And then I come back now and I can pick it up again. So beginning again, that whole thing of beginner's mind. But I am going to share this passage that I read today, and I thought, my goodness, thank you. What a good message. This is from a woman named Lisa Oliveira, a writer, therapist, creative, and human. It is called You Are Not a Before and After Story. You don't need to turn every experience of your life into wisdom or prove to anyone how far you've come or rush your way toward some other version of yourself. You don't need to dissect yourself endlessly in order to extract your life for the consumption of others. You don't need to be a beacon of hope or an example of overcoming. You don't need to minimize your struggles or your joy for the comfort of someone else's story of you. You don't need to bypass what's true and real by performing what you think you're supposed to be. You don't need to be beyond what you teach or what you share, what you offer or what you give. You don't need to deny when things are hard or when things are easy or when things feel right in the middle. You can let yourself be human, no matter what roles you play or what identities others hold you to, no matter what others expect of you or anticipate from you. You get to be human. You get to be human. You get to be human. I'll take that. And I hope that that gives you a good message for your heart and your soul. You might bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, allowing your body to inhale and exhale. Its own natural rhythm, or you can play with kind of finding a full breath without forcing, full inhales and full exhales. Notice where your attention is. Come back, touching hand to heart and hand to belly. Awareness on your breath. You can keep your hands where they are, or if you'd like, releasing the arms out into Shavasana or into a T shape, and allowing yourself to take a full inhale, a comfortable but full in-breath through the nose, and then an open mouth exhale. And we'll do that a few times, filling up through the nose and open mouth exhale. Big full inhale. Open mouth exhale. You can make as much noise as you'd like. Twice more. Inhale, fill up. Last one. Let your body breathe, just natural rhythm breath as you bring your hands to touch at your heart. Giving ourselves permission to be human. And let's send some love out into the world. You maybe have a specific person or place you want to send something good out to today. Release your arms, bend your knees, and bring your feet onto your mat. We'll hug the right leg in. You can hold the shin or the thigh. Just notice the hug. So oftentimes we want to hug the leg in as far as possible, but consider just a gentle, natural, feel-good amount. And then you can decide. The left leg can go back out straight, or you can keep it bent. And we'll invite some circles with the right ankle. Switching direction. And letting the foot rest, taking a few more breaths here. Right leg hugging in. You might even let it go away from the body and draw it in a little more. and then away and drawing in. One more breath right here. And we'll start again, both knees bent, feet on the ground. Then hug your left leg in. Find that comfortable place holding the shin or the thigh. Keep your right leg bent or straight. Straighten it out. And I didn't say this on the other side, but the straight leg could be very active, toes toward the sky, your ankle in dorsiflexion, or you could let your leg completely relax like a shavasana. Notice the hug. Find just right. And then left ankle circles. Switching direction. And letting your foot rest, maybe allowing the left leg to go away from the body and come closer, just drawing it in and then letting it go out. Couple more breaths on this side. And both legs can stretch all the way out. Inhale, both arms reach up and over. And exhale, arms by your sides. Feel free to take the exhale out of the mouth if you'd like. We'll do it twice more. Inhale through the nose, arms up and over. Exhale, arms down. One more. Hug both knees in. We'll be still for a few breaths, kind of like a child's pose. In fact, you could allow the knees to be apart a little bit and toes to touch. Breathing into hips and low back. Few more breaths here. And we'll take one hand on each knee. Make some circles with your legs. And just take it easy. Notice what size circle and what type of movement feels good. Usually I encourage you to go extra super duper slow, but maybe it feels good to go just a little faster. Just don't want to rush. When you're ready, switch direction. Bring the legs back to center, and either one leg at a time, straighten and bend, or both legs, straighten and bend. And we're exploring the straight part. We're not forcing the legs to be straight. You can do one and the other or both at the same time. Just a few more. Looking for hamstrings, sensation of stretch. And let's try both legs up, both legs together. And as if you had one foot, making a couple ankle circles with the feet together. It's a little different, the movement. And then you'll switch direction, trying to keep the feet together as you circle. And release. Legs can come all the way out. And again, 3 more breaths where we breathe through the nose, inhale, and maybe open mouth, exhale. Arms reach up and over, inhale. Big exhale, arms come down. Twice more. And you decide. Legs can stay long. They can be Shavasana or very active, right? If you dorsiflex the ankles, toes toward the sky, suddenly the legs are like as if you were standing. We're coming into cactus arms. We're going to focus on the shoulders for a moment. So decide how the legs feel good. I think actually Shavasana legs feel quite dandy to me. And we're going to move in and out of cactus. So the rotation coming from the shoulder joint. Palms go down toward the ground, internal rotation, and then up into the cactus shape, external rotation. Not forcing. I cannot believe the distance here, how my arms have changed. I used to be all the way down, but now that does not happen. So interesting. See what you have. Breathe through it. Then you might like to do opposites. One down, one up, and switch. Notice the pace of your movement and find that just right pace for today. And let's bring them back into the same direction, both arms at the same time. Next time they're in the open position, pause. If it feels too much, too loud, you can always add a pillow. You can bring the ground up to you. Okay, so please be mindful of that. You may stay, you can change the shape of your legs at any time. You may stay with your head in neutral or go ahead and roll to the right and pause. Head back through neutral and to the left, pause. Notice a difference between sides. And come back to center, releasing the arms. Go ahead, bend your knees if they're not, and take the feet about as wide as your mat. And let's let the knees just fall together for a moment. You might turn your palms down and drop right into your breath. Filling up and emptying out. If it feels good to allow the audible open mouth exhale, you can do that. Three more breaths here. Maybe they're nice and full. Separate the knees. Your arms, you have a choice here. Arms can be in a T, or maybe back into your cactus shape, or you might even consider kind of a giant Y shape as we come into the windshield wipers. If your arms are higher up, you're probably going to feel a little more stretch on the side body and down through the thighs. So if that's too much, adjust the arms. Feel free, as we're doing the windshield wipers, to pause on one side, take a couple of breaths, or you can continue moving side to side. At any point, if you want to add the movement of your head, you can turn the opposite way of the knees. I can tell you after many, many hours on a plane yesterday, this feels quite fabulous. Nice steady breath in and out. We'll move a few more times, side to side, or if you're holding, enjoy the hold. Making your way back to center. Releasing the arms. Bring your left leg on top for thread the needle. Any variation at all. And stay right here with the right foot down. A nice relaxed version. You can draw the legs in, holding the right thigh or the shin. The most active version is pressing the legs together and leaving the arms out of the equation. So the legs and the hips are doing a lot of work. It's very active stretch. So there's time. You can probably do each variation for a few breaths. Wherever you are, allow a big, beautiful inhale and an open mouth exhale. Twice more. And we'll switch sides. Please take your time. You might pause, notice. Right leg will go on top when you're ready. Any variation, knowing that there's time for all of it. Taking 3 big breaths in and open mouth exhale, letting go. Couple more breaths on this side. Releasing, and slide your legs out, arms up, starfish pose. Let your whole body breathe here. Lots of space. Bend your knees, release your arms. Locate one of your cushions for supported bridge. Take your time, elevate the pelvis. Make sure you feel supported and comfortable. Do a couple movements and then hopefully find some stillness in this pose. You can keep your pillow or slide it out depending on what feels right. Arms can be Shavasana shape in a T, or maybe you're interested in the cactus shape again. Your feet, you may want to bring them closer or a little farther apart, but we'll take the legs apart and together. So you can experiment with the feet, moving them. You can even scoot the feet forward and try this movement. Little scrunching and inchworming of the feet. So it's hip external rotation. Maybe you scrunch the feet back a little closer to your bottom. Well, it's a very mindful movement here. We're not just letting the legs flop out. They go out and they come back. We'll do that a few more times. And then take your feet a little wider than your hips and let your knees fall together. You can add a second cushion between the knees if that feels supportive. And your arms, again, can be in any shape that feels good. You might even want to take hands to belly. consider closing the eyes, allowing kind of a softness or relaxing of the eyebrows, your eyelids, your cheeks, your jawline, your whole face. And let the breath be very gentle as well. We've done kind of some big, powerful breaths. Let's allow the gentlest, softest breath now. Notice where your attention is. Be the observer of your breath. And you may choose to stay right where you are. If you would like to take the legs up into the sky, we'll shift slowly into that. You can draw your knees in toward your chest. And then let the legs float up into the sky. And let your arms be wherever they feel comfortable. Shavasana, T, cactus. If you took your legs up and it feels like too much, bring them back down. Let your feet connect to the ground. Few more breaths wherever you are in this gentle inversion. Bringing your feet back down. Taking the pillow out if you have it between the legs still. We're going to slide one leg out and slide it back. And your other leg, sliding it out, noticing, sliding it back. You can stay put with knees bent, feet on the ground, or if you'd like, slide both legs out. Flex the ankles, toes toward the sky. And let's inhale again through the nose, reaching arms up and over. Exhale out of the mouth. Arms down. Twice more. Inhale up and over. Exhale, arms down. Bend your knees. And let's come off the cushion. We'll set up for Shavasana. I want to give a couple of choices. And come down, pause for a moment. Maybe hug your knees in for a couple of breaths. Your choices for Shavasana, you could stretch out in the typical way that we do the pose, supporting the thighs, or you could also take Supta Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet together, knees wide, and absolutely support the legs, especially the hip joint. So we want the cushions not way out. We want them right up close to the buttocks. And perhaps palms facing down for Shavasana, but if it feels better to have them up, either way, choose your medicine, your place to rest and just be. Invite a deeper breath. Maybe invite that teeny tiny smile onto your face. Grateful for the practice. Grateful to get back to practicing together. Bring in some gentle movement, fingers, toes. Maybe again, stretching out through your legs and your arms into a full body stretch. And making your way to your side into fetal pose. And making your way up to sit. Hands to touch in front of your heart. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for your patience while I was gone. YouTube yoga. And thank you for being here, right now, this moment. Thank you, ladies.